Nigeria Info.
Okay, Lagos, we're back with Dailies today, part 2, and of course looking at the headlines in today's national dailies with in-depth analysis. My name is Kofi Bartels. Mr. Jimi Disu is here.
I'm Jimi Disu. Good morning.
Good morning to you, sir. All right, the weather, I hope it wasn't too cold. I mean, we rain and everything.
Nah, I'm cool.
You're cool, right?
Yeah,
You're cool, calm, and collected.
And collect. Well, I don't have a big collector.
Yeah, not taken. Okay. All right, good morning to you, sir. Good morning to you, Lagos. We're here with the papers. I will go straight to a story. I think this should be the editorial of Punch.
It's a story.
Oh, it's a story. It's not editorial. Oh, all right. So it's a story in the Punch. A first anniversary. Tinu directs 47 ministers to showcase scorecards.
Yeah, so it's going to be a year of the Tinu Administration, and the Minister of Information had a press briefing yesterday and has told us that the anniversary is going to be low key. That is nice. We don't want to frivolous in spending and so on and so forth. And that it will be marked with sectoral media briefings by the 47 federal ministers starting today. So journalists, they're in for a long haul. All the 47 ministers will probably, maybe one in the morning, one in the afternoon. And, and they'll be able to show their achievements. Akume, the Akume also, he briefed yesterday, and he said he briefed the press yesterday, and he highlighted the administration's ambitious agenda aimed at economic revitalization, social inclusion, and infrastructural development. And he pointed out that significant economic reforms had been implemented to stabilize the economy and promote sustainable growth. These policies, he said, have successfully attracted foreign investments, reduced inflation, and boosted job creation across the various sectors. That needs to be verified. And he says that, let me begin by admitting that the first year for Mr. President has been a testament to the unwavering commitment and resilience of the administration towards serving the Nigerian people with diligence and so on and so forth. Well, the time has come for us to now start asking ourselves, 1 year of the Tinu administration, what has it been like? I don't think I want to comment on that anytime now, because I think my comments are well known. It hasn't changed, but I don't want to waste valuable time by keep repeating what I'd always said. But it's up to you. It's up to everybody now needs to sit back and say, what has 1 year of this administration done to me as a person, done to my family as a group, done to my profession? Okay, this is a time for self-examination. Everybody's views will not be the same, and unfortunately, we don't do what you call proper polls. If you try to do any polls now, it will be manipulated. But my views about what's going on are very well known. I don't intend to repeat it, so we'll probably move on to the next story. But in the coming days, the ministers will bring about their scorecards. Some of them we will listen to, some we won't even bother. except you want to take part in a comedy show. But aside from that, I don't have any comment on.
So is this not a makeup activity, to make government look good? PR.
No, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. You always want to make, when you woke up this morning, you combed your hair, you shaved your head, you trimmed your beard so that you can look good when people see you on YouTube and Facebook. It's legitimate. What is most important is for people to know the truth. But the part that bothers me is that a lot of us know the truth, but because of some pecuniary interests, we come out in public and give all kinds of balderdash for various reasons. That is the part I find unfortunate. And you find full-grown adults doing that. I'm not saying you should be for or against, but there are some things that are apparent. And there are some things that are indefensible. Until Nigerians will learn to tell ourselves the truth, no matter whose ox is God, we are not going to go anywhere. We'll just be perambulating, dancing round and round and round. Apologies to Kelvin. It does be perambulating.
All right, sir. And now to that editorial on page 16 of The Punch, Ndume's bizarre justification for corruption. corruption.
I mean, I'm so happy about this editorial. Senator Ali Ndume was completely, he was completely, he made a gaffe that was completely unbecoming of a senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. They said this is how the Punch describes it. You remember it was Senator Ndume who admitted that they were corrupt. The Punch says that the recent remarks by Ali Ndume that money stolen by senators is used for the people, and by the penchant of the political class for corruption is people-driven, are bizarre. And that's putting it politely. Such statements not only insult the intelligence of the Nigerians, but also highlight the deep-seated sleaze that plagues Nigeria's political landscape. The point was to say, explaining the difference between corruption by politicians and others, Ndume admitted that politicians steal and share with the people. He's on record. He stated this in a live TV program while speaking up on the death penalty as a deterrent for those caught with drugs. He argued that when politicians' corruption is compared to others, it is a small one. This is dubious reasoning. It's not only dubious, it's infantile. It's embarrassing. I mean, it's embarrassing. He has set himself up for something that doesn't sound pleasant at all. Even at the international forum. That you have your own senator admitting that, so he has admitted that he himself is corrupt. That's what he's saying. And I don't go, okay, we are corrupt because we share it. Now we know, when we call some of them Robin Hoods, I hope some of you understand. Unfortunately, Robin Hood stole from the rich to give the poor. In the case of our own top people, they steal the money, they steal the bulk from the government, from the common purse, and pay tithes. When I say tithes, I'm talking 5% or 10% of what it is to the people, and whack the rest. That senator that is building markets, that is building, giving you public water, you don't know how much is taken from the treasury. In some cases, it's direct funds from the treasury that he has used to give you these things in his name. And yet you hail him. Nigeria is a sorry case, I'm sorry to say. You have a senator admitting, by now, shouldn't the EFCC have invited him for a meeting? That, okay, can you now admit to us some how corrupt you have been? Can you please tell us what it is? What kind of a country is this? In a brazen manner. This is like you can do what you like. It's a challenge. It's a challenge to the people that do, or like what we call do your worst. This is what Ndume is recorded to have said. He said, if you compare us politicians to all the corruption, it is very small. Our corruption is people-driven. What kind of nonsense is this? Thank God I'm on air. And I've used. And he says, if you steal it, you will go and share it with the people. If you don't, you are not coming back for 4 years. So that means that the people are co-conspirators in this deal. And in a way, it's right. In a way, it's right. The politicians that are most popular are those who give, they call it giving back. But giving back from where? Giving back from where? The politicians that are most popular, have their people on lockdown, is those who are ready to share money. And he says that if the death penalty is supposed to be included in corruption, I will support it. You better be careful, because you have just admitted publicly. He says, but you don't go and kill someone that stole 1 million or 1 billion. No. But someone who steals 1 trillion of government money should be killed. What kind of secondary school, primary school intelligence is this? Until we are ready to face corruption squarely and probably have capital punishment, we are not going anywhere. That's what has happened in other countries where they've been able to move forward. They've had zero tolerance for corruption. And so the Punch says that in a country struggling with endemic corruption, Ndume's comments are a stark reminder of how disconnected the political leaders are from reality. So the rest of the editorial is there, you can read it up, but there's 2 paragraphs caught my attention, and it says, Ndume's comments highlight the hypocrisy and moral bankruptcy of our leaders. To suggest that corruption is somehow beneficial to the people is not only false, but deeply offensive. Kofi, deeply offensive. Corruption is not a victimless crime. It robs millions of Nigerians of their dignity, their opportunities, and their futures. It is time to put an end to the culture of impunity that has allowed corruption to thrive and to build a Nigeria where integrity, accountability, and justice are the cornerstones of government. In another country, Ndume will be facing a recall from the Senate.
Yes.
But in 2027, I predict that he will still have a Senator Ndume being sworn in again. That is the tragedy of our nation. Yeah, let's go to the
Uncle Jimmy, just to want to add to that, he's a ranking senator, isn't he?
Yeah.
Former Senate leader, if I'm not mistaken. If he's still,
yes.
And this is senior senator, lawmaker.
Yes.
So you said something important here. In another country, that he would have been probably recalled. I also believe that probably his party would have
in another country by now, his house would have been surrounded. If
it was maybe in the UK, for instance, if it's a Labour parliamentarian,
how can an MP say this?
It'll be a crisis. The Conservatives, they see the party who wants to come to government.
At the very least, his family will be pleading that they should take him for some mental analysis to make sure that he's okay.
Yes, it should be the end of his political career.
It's very, very sad, and it's thrown a challenge to us. And nothing is going to happen. Let's move on.
Sir, is it not the same party who's national? The man who was made national chairman is someone.
But Kofi, if you want me to say it, I will say it. By the time you line up those who think like him and those who don't, you'll be looking at 70% of those who think like him and maybe a meager 30% amongst his colleagues.
It's well. Let's move on, sir.
Don't forget that corruption is not just about stealing. He's talking about stealing. The other things that you do in full conscience, for example, like buying cars at once, we'll continue to say it, at 160 million. It's corruption. Giving money to pilgrims to go to Mecca in this state is corruption. Wasting money left, right, and center is corruption. So don't let's just think that it's only when you go and use a digger to get money from the cookie jar. Some of the things we do are riddled with corruption. Let's go quickly. Time.
Over to Vanguard News stories there. Minimum wage labor cuts demand to 497k. FG OPS offers 57k. Yesterday's stocks ending stalemate. Odema attends briefly as other governors shun minimum wage. I hope Baski was there.
The drama is going on. So supposing the government says that the minimum wage, okay, we want to agree to labor is 497,000. And then second base, let's just move on.
You're laughing.
This is coming a drama. So we are beginning to get a fair idea of where it's going. I think it will settle somewhere between 57 and maybe 65,000. Maybe it will settle like that. Even at that, is 100% increase. No economy can survive something like that. Take it from me. Because what you're doing is you're doubling salaries. Okay, so in one fell swoop by fiat.
So my salary be double.
It might not be.
Yeah. Okay, you should. I'm
not your employer. But there's something interesting here. The Vanguard has a people talk section, and they spoke to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people, various people, and the Onyiye Nwachuku, who is a corporate comms professional, says that it's been 5 years since federal government increased the minimum wage to 30k. In that time, the cost of living has significantly increased. So she says, what then is the justification for the current minimum wage of 48k proposed by the federal government? If the 615,000 suggested by the NSC is too high, FG should see it as an attempt to match current realities and proceed accordingly. That's how she sees it. Anthony Abakporo says that the minimum wage that cannot buy a bag of rice is an offer from Satan. Eunice Omori says that the proposed minimum wage of 48k by the FG is simply unacceptable. Due to the inflation the country is facing, one person can hardly survive with 48k. That's the way she also sees it. Dayo Emmanuel says that the 48k minimum wage is talking about the 48k the FG is talking about, and the one labor is demanding are not realistic. It says both ends are not realistic. Romoke Olisa says the federal government's proposed 48k aims to strike a balance between improving workers' well-being and sustaining business. Okay, a higher minimum wage can boost purchasing power, but it can also burden small businesses and lead to job cuts. Yes, because supposing if here now we have to pay the security man 600 and whatever,
497,000.
What? How much are we going to charge? It goes on and on like that. That's why the 2019 minimum wage increment, the cost of living continues to rise, exacerbated by inflation. This is Saludin Hashimu. So he also calls for a balance, in determining what a minimum wage should be.
Someone is urging you on YouTube. We see you guys on YouTube to start your proper polls. I don't know what they mean by that.
He said what?
He said Jimi Disu start your proper polls.
Leave those ones. You know those.
funny bunch on YouTube.
A lot of them are paid hacks.
Funny bunch on YouTube.
We are used to them. Those ones are paid hacks. They want to resume Michelle. They've resumed this.
It's just funny. I don't know why.
They are paid hacks.
I don't know why they still do it.
But some of them, part of the danger of doing, I hope some of them are convinced about what they're doing. They're not doing for money, because it could later come back to haunt them. But that's a story for another day.
Yeah.
Let's go to the next
All right.
story.
Anyway, are we doing labor once for the... Okay.
No, I cancelled that.
Okay, all right. So movie practitioners meet over federal government ban on money ritual scenes. That's...
Okay, so the federal government has banned money ritual scenes in movies. And I can understand that, because sometimes we have to balance Western whatever with our own traditions and whatever. But I want to move forward also to urge the federal government. There's a need to monitor what is available in the social media to Nigerians. The proliferation of porn sites and horrible things is not going to do us any good. In certain countries today, I can tell you, and when you get to those countries, you will thank God for creating the world. Like in Qatar, in Dubai. I think Dubai, you can't connect. I'm not sure if you can see YouTube or certain, I think, or TikTok, one of them. I don't know. But I do know that there are restrictions on what you can see. Because the truth is these things set you back. Sheriff and I have complained over and over again. Whenever we pick the papers, they're talking of rape, they're talking of this. The proliferation of Nigerian porn sites is so disturbing.
Sorry, sir.
Yes.
Nigerian
porn sites.
Oh, do they exist?
Yeah, they exist.
Oh.
Okay, they exist, yes.
Wow.
Why? You think I'd say that? I've gone there to find out what exactly is going on.
No,
because what happens? No, you can't go away. What happens? What happens is that from those porn sites, once in a while, it pops up on your WhatsApp in general or whatever it is, and then you look and see what's going on here. You need to see the proliferations of porn sites are men, especially, and are women. Some of them elderly, in their 60s. Is a gory sight. And I hope that the government would look at this and acknowledge and admit the damage that it's doing, just like these money rituals. That some people will come and talk about freedom, that they should exhibit it so that we will know. You don't need to know. We can't continue to ruin this country. Don't let's kid ourselves. A lot of children have access to phones now. They have access to the internet. So we have to control it at the back end. You have to control it at the back end. So it's a very, very serious thing, and it's leading to all kinds of things. Man 30 sleeping with girl 3, sleeping with boy 4. Even in the Western world, at least they're putting a premium on Western on child pornography, because they've been pushed because of freedom to allow pornography. But at least they put a premium on child pornography. There's a top Nigerian, I don't want to mention his name, who was caught recently in Germany because they trailed him from America. Okay, they trailed him from America, and he was arrested as he was going en route to Ghana. They grabbed him in Germany and put him in a solitary cell for a long time. It took a lot of influence for him to get out of it.
What was his crime?
Child pornography.
My God. That's serious.
Always also remember, all of you, a lot of you guys, anything on the internet is monitored by somebody of interest. Some of you who like get involved in abusing people of the other, these people are animals, these people are this, these people are that. Everything is recorded. Should there be any uprising of any whatever that involves people dying and so on and so forth, it was people will come after. And if you think that because you are a supporter of the government in power, at that time you might not be the government in power. At that time you might not even be the Nigerian government. You could be caught in transit. We all need to be very, very careful the things that we say and do in the social media. I beg of you, please.
All right. So let's look at the news pages of the Punch tidbits right here.
Thank you. Lasema blames rainfall as two-story building collapses in Lagos. This is the story we are talking about this morning, Kofi. Guest dies during Lagos birthday celebration. It's important for me to state that it was during a fight at the. It was during a fight
at the party.
At the party.
Oh, I see.
Yes, well,
I see. Sad.
Missing mother of two took her life. The mother of two, Margaret Atayi, she was found dead on Monday. Again, lawyers on Anambra calls over colleagues kidnap. Man shot dead after argument with cousin in Ogun. What else is interesting here? Let me go to the. It's all crime. Mobile court convicted over 10,000 offenders in 1 year. That's Lagos State, and Lagos improving healthcare to attract foreign patients. The commissioner, and Lagos State to tackle pollution at motor parks. And of course, the paper is full of the obituary of Boyega Shoyonwo, who was the deputy chief of staff to the governor. May his soul rest in peace. And one more time, our condolences to the family and to the government.
All right. And we have more celebratory.
Yes. It's nice to hear that Professor Alfred Bandile Kasumu, Professor Kasumu, one of our emeritus sons. There are sons and there are sons. Is 90 today. It's 90 today. Professor Kasumu's profile is intimidating. He was the Dean Faculty of Law, UNILAG. He was Honorable Attorney General, Lagos State from 75 to 78, leader, body of senior advocates of Nigeria, and so on and so forth. And so some of his, he has an alumnus, those who worked in the chambers. And they put, Honorable Justice Onyidamola A. Ogala, that's the wife of my good friend Ogala. Moyoshore Onigbanju, SAN, former Attorney General. Dada A. Awoshika, Senior Advocate of Nigeria. And this one that surprised me, I didn't know that Olaoto Ajose Adeogun had become a reverend. Oh, you don't know him? Okay, so you don't know him. Sorry, I thought I was talking to one of my friends.
Oh, no.
Reverend Olaoto.
Go on.
Ajose Adeogun.
Oh, so he's a reverend. He's a reverend.
You don't know him now.
Oh, come on. Come on.
Happy birthday, sir. Happy birthday. Happy birthday. It's something worth celebrating. Professor Kasum.
As we go older, we get closer to God.
As we
grow older, we get closer to God.
Yes, but I didn't know that a lot of times I become a reverend.
Who knows? You might be a reverend tomorrow.
I'm a reverend now. This job I'm doing is the job of a reverend.
Yes. Okay. Escort vehicle kills 2 church worshippers in Ondo.
If we don't, I almost got hit twice by these escort vehicles in one journey from Surulere to VI. And it's sad that the Commissioner of Police in Lagos, and indeed the Lagos State government, cannot put this phenomenon under control. People have actually gone mad. So what do our elites do? You buy your SUV and you must buy a pickup van to go with it, put a strobe light and scatter everybody. Now, when you tell the gentleman to go to the market to buy something, you're not in the car, the same thing happens. We allow this thing to happen continuously. And I must say it's a very sad development. In the days of Fashola, there again, it was put under control. But this government seems to condone this irresponsibility. I thought there were guidelines for having this so-called escort vehicle. And I still can't understand what is wrong with our elites. If you go to the social media now, you see videos of people coming down. Are you acting a movie, for God's sake? If only Mama could see me now, some can't move without. I don't understand it. The other day there was a video of a musician. He had one escort. His wife had another one. For how long are we going to live like this? For how long?
And other countries are borrowing it. The Ghanaians are now borrowing it. They also want to use escorts.
It's become, and well, I think that, to be honest with you, this kind of thinking, it goes also. Everybody wants to feel important. I don't get it.
National values.
I don't get it. What kind of values we have? I don't get it. Back in the day, they used to describe some certain people as car owner. When you say somebody, oh Lord, shaking car, no, he's a car owner now. That title went with responsibility. Yes, but these days our elite have become children. They've become children. It's ridiculous.
So the sirens are blaring all over Lagos.
All over Lagos.
And they also break the law.
From Surulere to here, I almost got hit by 2.
And they use BRT lane sometimes.
Everything. I think the governor should step up and save our lives, because some of these vehicles sometimes even get involved in hit and run. Kofi, let's go.
All right, so it's been a pleasure having you. And of course, so looking forward to having you back at 9 o'clock.
Yeah, I'll be back at 9 o'clock.
What are we looking forward to, sir?
I honestly don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
I like your honesty. All right.
But I'll be here all the same.
You'll be here all the same. His name is Mr. Jimi. So go have some coffee, some tea or something.
Yeah.
Something else. And
All
right. And we're here for you by 9 o'clock. Up next, the news at 8. And when we come back, we're talking prostrate issues amongst men this morning on Health Thursday. You don't want to miss it. Please stay with us. Good morning.
My children take some lessons.
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.